Hey guys, good afternoon. It's Mrs. Kraut with your homework. Let's dive into this. Let me get some paper. Hope this was fairly easy for you guys last night. Didn't want anything to be too difficult for you. So let's do this. So number one, we have 2 11ths. So when we're converting a fraction to a decimal, then you're going to take the bottom number, which is your denominator, and that goes outside because that's your dog. The dog stays outside. And then your 2 goes on the inside. 11 cannot go into 2, so I'm going to add a decimal. When I add a decimal, I have to bring it straight up, okay? And I can add a 0. And I can add as many zeros as I want to, and that still doesn't change the value of this number. So 11 goes into 20 one time. 1 times 11 is 11. That's 9. I can add another 0. 11 goes into 9 8 times because 8 times 11 is 88. And then I have 2 left over. I'll add another 0, and that's 20. So that goes 1 time. That's 11. So this is 9, right? Yes, 11 and 9. And then I can add another 0. And the reason why I'm adding another 0 is because it says convert to decimals, round to 3 digits. So if I'm rounding to 3 digits, then I actually need to have 4 so that I can round it. So I underline here and then circle next door, because the only reason I got this 4th number is to determine if that 1 is going to stay a 1 or if it's going to go up to a 2. In this case, when I round, 8 is over 5 or 5 or more, so it's going to go up. So the correct answer for number 1 is 182 thousandths. If you didn't understand how I got that, Cameron, be quiet. Shh. Then go in Miss Whitmore's room. You don't need to be talking in here. Go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do number 4. Okay, and that's 1/9. And I want to change that into a fraction. So 9 goes outside because that's my dog denominator, and he goes outside. And then I put the 1 on the inside. Okay, and then I'm going to add a decimal because remember, by adding a decimal, and I can add as many zeros as I want, I haven't changed the value of that 1. It's still 1. Okay, 9 goes into 10 one time. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 left over. Add a 0. 9 goes into 10 one time. 1 times 9 is 9. Look at this. We're going on and on and on with the same thing. So I'm going to add a 0 just to bring it down. And I get a 1. 1 times 9 is 9. I get a 1. Add a 0. I get a 1. Okay? So the only reason why I got that 4th number is just so I could round it. So I'm going to underline the 3rd number and then circle next door because I want to round this. And 1 is not big enough. So the answer to number 4 is going to be 111 thousandths. All right, we'll do number 10. Number 10 is 6 sevenths. So in order to turn this into a decimal, I'm going to put 7 on the outside because it's my dog denominator, and the dog goes outside. And then I have a 6, right? So I'm going to add a decimal because 7 won't go into 6. When I add that decimal, I haven't changed the value of it. It's still 6, okay? So 7 goes into 60 8 times because 8 times 7 is 56, right? And then I have 4 left over. I'm going to add another 0, and then that's 40. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 5 is 35 with 5 left over. I'm going to add another 0 just to bring it down. 7 goes into 50 7 times because 7 times 7 is 49. 1 left over, and I just need to go one more place so that I can round it. 7 goes into 10 one time, and I don't need to do anything else with that because I only needed to go 4 out. So I underline my 7 and circle next door, and 1 is not big enough to cause that 7 to go to an 8. So the final answer for number 10 is 857 thousandths. All right. I think you guys get the hang of this now. I hope so. But I'll do one more with you. I'll do number 12. It looks kind of difficult. Okay, so number 12 is 13, or the problem is 8/13, and they want you to change that into a decimal. So you know that the denominator is going to go on the outside, and then the numerator goes on the inside. I'm going to add my decimal there, and then I got to make sure I bring it right up. 13 goes into 80. Let's see, 13 times, let me try 6. That's 18. That's 70. That's perfect. 6 times. 6 times 13 is 78. And then I have 2 left over. Bring down the 0. And then that's 1 time. 1 times 13 is 13. So that's 7 left over. Add my 0. 13 goes into 75 times. And that's 65. Okay, and that's 5. So I need to go one more. Right, 13 goes into 50. I'm going to say 4 times. No, 3 times. 3 times, that's 9, and that's 39. And that doesn't matter anymore because you only want to get that 4th number. So I'm going to underline my 5 and circle next door just to see what that 3rd number is going to be. So that 3 is not big enough to cause that 5 to go up. So my final answer for number 12 is 615 thousandths. All right, and we're not done yet. We're going to turn it over, and we're going to do some order of operations, which is PEMDAS. I'm going to do a few of these with you. I think you guys get this, but we just need some extra practice just to make sure we keep that skill fresh. All right, so number 70, I'm not going to do with you because I think, or number 70, number 1 that has 70 in it, I'm not going to do with you because I think you guys got that. I'm going to try, let's do number 3. Number 3 is 69 divided by 3 minus 3 times 7. Okay, so this is what you're going to do, okay? You're going to write across your paper GMDOS so you can go through each thing, and these 2 go together. All right, and then you're going to ask yourself, self, are there any grouping symbols? No. So move on. Self, are there any exponents? No. Move on. And so is there any multiplication or division? Yes, there's multiplication and division. In the case where there's multiplication and division, what you do is you do what comes first in the problem. So in this case, division is going to come first. Even though right here it's multiplication, division, they're on the same line. You do them based on which one comes first. Just like addition, subtraction, you do them based on which one comes first in the problem. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and circle this. So this is what I'm doing first. So 69 divided by 3, 3 goes into 6 2 times, 3 goes into 9 3 times. So this is 23, and then I'm going to rewrite my problem. Minus 3 times 7. And then I go back to my thing. Is there any multiplication? Yes, right here. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I have 23 minus 21. And then the only thing you have left is that. So that's easy. 23 minus 21 is 2, right? So the final answer for number 3 is 2. Okay. Let's do number 5. Number 5? Yeah, let's do number 5. Okay, number 5 says 84 divided by 4 times 6 minus 114. Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to look at my GMDOS. Are there any grouping symbols? No. Are there any exponents? No. Is there any multiplication or division? Yes. So I'm going to do what comes first in the problem. In this case, division comes first. So I'm going to do this first. 4 goes into 84 21 times. So I have 21. So I'm done with that. Times 6 minus 114. It's very important that you rewrite the problem every single time as you go, because you'll get messed up when you have these really big problems. You'll get messed up if you're not rewriting it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have multiplication. So I'm going to do this right here. 21 times 6 is 126 minus 114. Okay, so I'm not real good at subtraction. So let's see here. That's 2, that's 1. So it's 12. So the final answer is 12. For number 5, the final answer is 12. All right, I'll do one more with you. Let's do one with an exponent. Okay. Ooh, let's do number 9. Okay, number 9 says 9 squared divided by parentheses 11 minus 8. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so this is why it's important to go back and look at your GMDOS. Are there any grouping symbols? Yes. So that means I need to figure this out first. I need to figure out my 11 minus 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, that's 3. So I'm going to rewrite my problem. I have 9 squared divided by 3. Okay, so now I'm going to say, okay, I did the grouping symbols. Are there any exponents? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and do the exponents. Remember, this is not 9 times 2. Okay, remember, it's 9 times 9, which is 81, right? So this is actually 81 divided by 3. Okay, and 3 goes into 81. Let's see how many times 3 goes in. That's 2, 6, 27 times. So final answer for number 9 is 27. Okay, so I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 problems with you today. So I hope that you guys are getting this. This is going to be on your big test. But I think you guys got this. You guys did pretty good on this when we learned it in class. This one right here is the one I'm more concerned about because I think we haven't practiced it enough. So when you don't practice something, you tend to forget how to do it. So that's why I'm bringing this back up this week. So the secret word is going to be ruler. Like Miss Kraut is the ruler of the classroom. No, just kidding. I'm just looking at the ruler. All right, guys, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.